episode of the Sartorial Geek podcast is sponsored by The Colorful Geek. If you've seen Jordan Danae at a convention, you've probably also seen The Colorful Geek because we love each other and sell near each other whenever we can. The Colorful Geek has all kinds of super cute, nerdy clothing and accessories that are made right here in New York. And they have a special discount for you. You can use the code SartorialGeek for 20% off everything at The Colorful Geek. So go check them out and follow them at The Colorful Geek all over the internet. Hey, welcome to the Sartorial Geek podcast. I'm Jordan Ellis of Jordan Danae, and I'm here at the ReedPOP offices right now in Connecticut, which is super cool. And I'm here with Taylor Eastman and Katie Ruark. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I got to meet, I don't even remember the first convention I met either of you at, but I see you at things all the time. And it's really cool for me to be able to be here and like see the behind the scenes, because I feel like there's so much that happens at conventions that like no one knows about. So you guys do content.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that like the content that goes out or the content at cons or both? Like what? Explain your job to me because I sort of get it.
So we do all like the panels and screenings and special events. So some of that takes place at the convention. Some of it is now taking place before and after the convention. So we do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, because at New York Comic Con, you guys did like the library stuff too, right?
Yes,
cool.
We did at the New York Public Library. It was the whole professional day on Thursday.
That's awesome.
We actually did that at Emerald this year too. We're kind of like trying to bring it to more shows at the Seattle Public Library.
So I stayed in Seattle a couple days after, and I went to the library, and one of the people working there like somehow recognized me, which never happened. So we like talked about it and talked about Emerald City. But that's really cool because then the whole city where the conventions happen like get involved too, which is awesome.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that's happening at New York a lot since we've got all those outside venues. We're like spreading out into the city slowly.
Yeah.
Taking over.
Yeah, as the shows grow, there's no room for everyone in the convention center,
right.
So the more venues that we can bring content to, the better.
So do you guys try to have it all be like the weekend of, or do you like having it spread out to like before and after, or is it just kind of depending on how big the show is?
Well, for New York, like part of our goals this year is to have like stuff going on all year round. Our goal is to have stuff going on all year round. So we launched a whole series of events leading up to the show called NYCC Now. You should check it out.
And you're doing stuff already months ahead, because I saw H. John
Benjamin.
Yeah, I was like, HJ is wrong. H. John Benjamin.
We did a signing with H. John Benjamin at the Strand, and we're actually doing one tomorrow with Chuck.
Yeah. I can't pronounce it either, but yes, I know who that is.
Chuck P.
Yes.
Doing a signing at the Strand tomorrow, and I'll be there handing out buttons and greeting people.
That's awesome. So that's really that's cool too for people who love the con, but it's one weekend a year, so it's like ways you can. So and how do you follow it?
Well, it's going to be the hashtag NYCC Now, but if you go on our website, there's a button right there, NYCC Now. It's got our whole calendar of events, and we're adding more as the months go on and as we come up with new ideas for fun things to do. We've got some trivia nights on the books. We've got some more signings. We have an event with Nick Offerman and Megan Mullally that just sold out.
Whoa.
So that's happening, yeah.
That's awesome. What was I just going to ask? Oh, so Reed has way more events than I even realized before, because I know NYCC and Emerald City, but what other American shows do you have?
Well, we have C2E2, which just took place in April. Keystone Comic-Con, it's the first year we're launching in September. What are the exact? Do you know the exact?
September 15th.
Yeah, that weekend.
Yeah.
We'll be there, so come say hi.
And then we do all the pack shows too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Cool. Those are gaming shows, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then Star Wars Celebration too, which is every other year. But
yeah.
And also BookCon.
And BookCon. Yeah. So basically the big shows that people the big Comic-Cons. That's awesome. Is it weird to switch brains between specific fan show? BookCon is obviously way specific, and then NYCC and C2E2 are widespread fan things.
is it, like, I feel like you guys have to know everything, kind of, to come up with content. Like, how do you decide?
Luckily, I feel like there's people here that are super into what they're into. So we're all kind of like have our own different fandoms and everything. So if you aren't like an expert on something, most likely the person in front of you or behind you in the office is. So that's kind of nice. But our shows, like the comic portfolio we cover everything.
Yeah.
So I feel like the longer I've been here, the more things that I wasn't even interested in, now I am. So that's really cool too, working on it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I guess your office is just like a directory of every nerd brain in one spot. That's so cool. What's been like one of your favorite, like, have you ever gotten to do like one super cool thing that you were like, if like this was my favorite part of working this job? Is there, or like a cup, like what's something that, like, I guess the way I want to ask it is there something super cool that you've been able to do because you work here that like you never thought would get to happen? Like, have you gotten to like talk to anyone in like a cool situation that?
I mean, there's stuff that I'm working on now that I can't talk about.
Okay, that's fine. So next year we'll chat
about working on. Like, and it might not even happen, but I'm very excited about.
Well, you love Keanu and you got to.
I know. I did get to bodyguard Keanu Reeves.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
At New York this past year.
Yeah, because he was in the 1A hall in 1A06 doing a panel for his new movie. So we got to be a human shield. You were
because everyone can't see you, but you don't look like a bodyguard. Like, you're pretty little, so you had to make like a human shield for Keanu. That's awesome.
Yeah, people probably thought we were fans. Trying to like bombard the stage. Right. Like, we're supposed to be here.
No, we're staff.
But yeah, it's just the way the stage is set up. Like, there was a huge gap that he had to walk through to get out of the room, and it was chaos.
Well, I'm glad you were there. That's awesome.
Me too. KR Prime.
Yeah.
Because my initials are KR, and our event manager are also KR, but he's the...
That's sweet. I love that.
Yeah.
Do you have any, like, favorite...
The first one that comes to mind is, like, growing up, I always was obsessed with Pokemon. Like, I didn't know anything about the voice actors or anything, but at C2E2 last year, I got to put together some children's programming with the voice of Ash.
Whoa.
So that was super cool. Just, like, you know, she's so chill, so friendly. The kids were obsessed with her. Like, I have a million pictures on my phone of just, like, all the kids that dressed up as different Pokemon coming to pose with her. And she was, like, doing, like, a voice workshop with them, and it was amazing.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So it was just something that like, you never would think like you'd be in that position, but it was really fun.
Yeah, that's not something most people get to do. No. That's really sweet. Is there anything that you would like want to tell fans about programming? Because I feel like some people, like, I didn't even really know about panels until I had been going for a while. Because like you think about the celebrities and you see the exhibitor hall because it's there. But I feel like programming is kind of like a secret gem that like not everyone knows about. Like, is there like, not like a PSA to people to like actually look at paneling, but like I guess maybe what kinds of things can you see in paneling that you wouldn't necessarily think of? Like, you can, I feel like people know about like the big movie releases where like the whole, you know, that kind of thing. But the smaller panels and like the sort of like off the beaten path content is really cool too.
Let's see. I would say like a lot of fans, it's hard to meet your favorite celebrities and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's expensive. I get that.
Right.
So the best way to see some of those celebrities that you want to see is go to their panel. Like, we have programming going on with almost all of our autographing and photo ops guests. So that's always an option. And I think a lot of people forget about that. And they're like, oh, I have to pay to see this person. Well,
yeah, you can still see them in person.
Yeah, you can
and
ask them a question. There's usually a Q&A segment. So you can still have an interaction with them. I would say that. And also, like, there's a lot of really cool fan-run panels. Like, if you want to talk about your favorite stuff, go to a fan panel that's about it, or a meetup that's about it, and you'll make new friends who are really into the same stuff that you are.
Yeah, I was going to bring up the meetups. I feel like we get so many questions and just like comments on our different social media pages about like, oh, I have no one to go with, or like, oh, I wish like my friends were into this too. But there are so many fans at our shows looking for people with the same interests as them. So really going to a panel or a meetup is like the best way to meet friends at the show.
What's the best way to find, like, can you search by like category, or like if you're like, I love Pokemon, like can you search the show? Like, what's the best way to find the panels and meetups and stuff if you don't know what you're looking for? You just know what you like.
The app is like the best thing that you can
Cool,
download.
okay.
And I'm pretty sure like if you go into our app and just type in Pokemon, all of the like panels with it in it and the meetup would come.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool.
So definitely download the app.
Yeah, totally. And you guys have, is it a ReedPOP app or a different app per show?
Per show.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's nice too. So you can just be like, this is what I'm actually going to if you aren't like me and don't go to every single Reed event ever.
Yeah. And then there would be way too much information.
Right.
At the show.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How much in advance, like, I imagine it's really, really hard to plan everything. Like how far in advance do you guys have what's going to be out? Or do you release things like slowly as you know? Or like when should people start looking for stuff? Is it like a month before or like a week before or like when you get tickets?
The guests and everything we'll start announcing a couple months before the show. Like obviously we're planning it year round, but we'll start announcing
you
like
can't
tickets
tell
on sale.
everyone stuff, right?
Yeah. But the main program, like all of the panels.
The panel submissions are open for New York right now. So like people can submit their ideas right now, and I think that's open until July 30th, 2018. So after that closes, like we have to do a whole process of reviewing everything, and we get so many submissions. And we can only like take about, I think last year we took about 20%.
Okay.
So that takes some time. But
that's kind of nice too for people to know if they submit. Like I assumed that big shows get a ton, but it's like if your panel doesn't get accepted or every panel doesn't get accepted first round, it's because you have 5 times as many like people applying as literal room and time. So that makes sense.
And
it's not that it's bad
year
content.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's tough decision making time, but.
And then I'm sure it's like a puzzle piece of trying to fit like room size and time. And I can't even
And you don't want to have
imagine.
conflicting content. Like sometimes things don't slot until the end and it's like right up against something that's directly conflicting. And you're like,
no.
oh no, how do we change this now? And everyone's like, how did they do that? But like stuff comes in so late.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure you have to give preference to like the celebrities or like people who are only there for a certain amount of time. It's like if someone's only there for one day, their panel can't be 3 days later.
Yeah.
Because how do you do that? Is there a huge team of people? Like
It's usually 1 or 2 people. Like Taylor did all of hers for Emerald City last year, and she had 400 something panels
by
and
yourself?
programming.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We had like a whole restructure here, so now we all mostly focus on one show. So we can focus year round, which is really great. But yeah, when it comes time to scheduling, it's super overwhelming.
Oh my gosh. I'm stressed out for you.
Yeah.
That already happened.
Well, it'll be here before we know it next year already.
That's true. Is it like, I guess it's just a puzzle piece of trying to figure out
and
how to slide everything in.
A lot of the bigger stuff, the like studio content, it won't come in until the very last second.
Right.
Because they don't know. So we don't know. And then that's why things get shuffled around right at the last second.
That's good though. I kind of obviously some behind the scenes is like meant to be behind the scenes, but it's nice for people like you were saying, like it's easy as a fan to be like, this isn't what I wanted, so how could I ever do that? But then when you realize it's a person with a ton of other details going on trying to make it work, like it's sometimes things just happen because that's how they have to happen.
Yeah.
Or like there aren't enough, it's not unlimited rooms and you have to block everything out. That's so crazy.
Well, and then we run into the problem with the more venues we bring on and like the more spaces, there is no matter what going to be some type of conflicting content. So we really are trying to not have it be that way, but there's just nothing much we can do.
Yeah. Do you guys have any tips for like if you're going to panels for the first time? Like, because we had like a con goer, Rachel, give her like tips from all. So it was like get in line early, that kind of stuff. But are there any like other tips? I mean, obviously if it's a huge panel, you have to look at the details of like, do you have to get in the lottery or do you have to line up at a certain time? But are there any other like things that people wouldn't normally think of that you wish fans knew so that their lives would be easier and yours would be easier?
I feel like people don't ever think to look at all the speakers. Like a lot of time they just see the topic and they're like, oh, that's interesting. But we've been pulling so many different creators, whether it's like authors or artists, to be on different panels.
Yeah.
Kind of just like to make like not a package, but like making sure they have a ton to do at the show. So I would recommend that because a lot of people are like, I didn't even know they were going to be on that panel. But we do list all the speakers.
So like actually click in and see who's going to be there.
Yeah.
That's a really good piece of advice. I've never thought about that.
Well, because a lot of people are like, oh, the title doesn't seem like that interesting, but you have no idea what's like actually going to happen.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So look at the details. That's important.
I would say pre-plan. Definitely look at your schedule, but also be flexible because there are just going to be sometimes you can't get to what you wanted to get to. So have second options or just be ready to like go check out the show floor for some time.
Right. If you can't get in, there's always something else fun to do.
And our app lets you schedule in advance. So I'm really plugging the app today.
No, but I mean, if that's the best way to get around, then everyone should get the app for all the shows because that'll really help.
And it's our most like up-to-date information because our program guide goes to print a month before the show. So things change sadly. And then people are like showing up to rooms like, but this is not what it says. So the app is everything that's right.
I think the New York Comic Con app is already live because that's part of the NYCC now is there's a game part of it.
Oh, cool.
So if you download the app, you can play along with NYCC now, but also you can, once the schedule goes live, I think it goes live in the app first. Don't quote me on that.
No, that's cool though. So like you can get the content or content that's coming out early and then also it'll just be there when the show comes out.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for chatting with me today. So do you want people to follow you guys as people too, or just like follow the show and download the app? Because you can totally plug yourself. I mean, you guys are cool people. I think everyone should follow you if you want them to.
I think just follow. I tweet like once a month. So
yeah, that's cool.
My Twitter is mostly puppy videos.
You know what? That's awesome.
But yeah, definitely follow like the show tweeters. The show Twitters. We'll have all the information there first. And our Instagram too. I feel like a lot of people don't follow Instagram, but
and during the event, I know you guys do a lot with stories, which is cool. So even if you can't, like if you're a fan and you maybe can't be everywhere, like while you're eting lunch, you can just see what's going on the stories, which is awesome. Cool. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
bye guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. If you like the show, you can subscribe, you can leave us a review, and if you want to check out our Patreon, that will help us keep bringing you really cool interviews and content. Have a great week and stay nerdy.